Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create the iOS control center widget in Flutter iOS application. So let's get started. I will show you the output at the very end. Basically what we will do is we will be making use of user defaults. Now if you don't know what user defaults is, it is basically used to store key value data. Now some of you might be wondering why I'm not using shared preferences Flutter library. Like we can use that, but the problem is the control center widget which we will be writing will be entirely native code. So I don't know what behind the scenes shared preferences uses. Maybe it uses user defaults, maybe it not, I'm not really sure. That's why I'm not using any third-party library, because if I use any third-party library, how will I write a native code for it? Like how will I invoke that? That would become very extremely problematic. That's why I'm using user defaults to store key value data. Basically what our app will do is it will track how much coffee intake or tea intake I have taken during the day. It will just have a simple button. Every time you press on the button, it will increment the value inside user defaults and show that value inside our label. Now from this is the simple thing from the app perspective. Now inside our control widget also we will do the same thing. When you click on the control widget, it will increment the count, save it inside user defaults and display it inside our control widget as well, so that the user does not have to open the app once they have a control widget for it. Okay, so let's get started. Now I have written some of the code for it, I have not written the entire code. So yeah, so firstly just create as usual a Flutter application, and inside main.dart I have just imported this Flutter services.dart, Flutter package services.dart. Once that is done, just scroll down. Here everything is the same, and here I have just refactored this my homepage widget. So it is a stateful widget. Here I have created a method channel called increment counter platform. You can name it whatever you feel like, but do remember you will have to use the same name on native iOS side as well. So yeah, be careful with this. And here I have just created a variable which is assigned value as 0 at the very start. Okay, and okay, next here I have created one text button, and on click of it, basically we are invoking a method called increment counter. uh, okay, and once this increment counter is called, uh, it will update the value inside our user defaults. It will give us the count back. We just update that particular count to our data variable, and we are just displaying that data variable inside this particular text element. Now I will also we will look at this implementation later on. Okay, but also as soon as the app is launched, I will also need to be sure, I will also need to update this data variable, right? What if the user has already updated the count value and they completely close the app and come back to our app again? Our value should not be 0, right? So what we can do again, we can maybe I will add one future method as well, future void, okay, uh, get value. You can name it whatever you feel like. Basically here we will just get the value, we will not increment the value. On the button click we were incrementing the value as well as getting the value as well. So here it would be something like this. So we will just use something like this again, but here, okay, I'll just quickly save it, but here it will be like get value or get counter, whatever you want to call it. So I will just name it as get counter. Okay, and this particular get value method we will be calling it from init state, so that as soon as our app is launched, this particular value gets updated and this value is saved, displayed inside this particular text element as well. So hopefully you are getting the point till here. Next we will what we will have to do is go to your Flutter application, go to iOS and double click on this .exe workspace to open it inside Xcode. Now this is very important, do not do the changes via VS Code, especially the control center widget, which I will show you guys later on, because you will face a lot of issues in that. So firstly you will have to come to app delegate, and here what I have done, I have just created this method channel result, which helps us to send data back to Flutter side. Here I have just created inside this particular thing is present by default, and this is also present by default. In between this I have added this Flutter, we are getting hold of our Flutter view controller. Then here I have created this method channel with the same name which we have defined it on the Dart side. Then here we just do save data. Okay, so this is wrong, so it should be increment counter channel. Here we create our method handler. So here we look for this increment counter method. Then we get hold of our user defaults. Now if you have little bit knowledge of native iOS, you might be wondering why I'm not using user defaults dot standard. We can't use that because same instance of user defaults needs to be used inside our control widget as well, like control center widget. That's why we have to use something like user default suit name. Now this suit name can be anything, but a good practice, or what I would recommend, is just do group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. Now to get your bundle identifier, just go to runner, and here is your bundle identifier inside sign in and capabilities. So just copy this and paste it over here. Okay, so I have already done that. So here we get in hold of our user defaults. Once we have that, we get whatever is the current value inside user defaults. If no value present, then it is 0. Then we just update the value, save it inside user defaults, and send this new value back to Flutter side. Okay, in case we are not able to get anything, what I will do, I will just send back 0. Okay, so yeah, something like this. Now we also need to define one more method for our this particular get counter. So I will just copy this particular part, else if do this. Okay, and here is our get counter. Okay, now we need to get the value. So what I will do is, now you don't have to do this, like this is just a sample project which I had created for native iOS. I will just open that and I'll just copy some code, so don't get confused. Let me just open this label. Yeah, this, copy this. Okay, so I'm back inside Xcode, and here I will have to paste something like this. Now again here I will have to replace it with my own bundle identifier. I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So it's the same code which we have used over here. So we just get hold of our user defaults, get the value which is stored inside it, and once we have the value, we can just use this method channel result to send the value back. So here we just pass the stored value over here. Okay, now I'll just improve the indentation a little bit. So hopefully you got the point till here. Now what we will have to do is, we'll just have to go to runner. We'll have to click on this plus capability button, and here we'll have to search for app group, and I'll just copy my bundle identifier, then click on this plus button over here, and here just paste your bundle identifier again. So same thing, we had used it for user default suit name as well, so make sure you use the same thing. Click on OK. Once this is done, so yeah, it is updating, provisioning, let it do its thing. Next you will have to click at the top of file, new, target, and here you will have to search for widget. So widget extension, click next, and here you can give whatever name you want. So I will just give it as my Flutter app widget. You can give it a proper name. Okay, and here make sure you check this include control as well as include configuration app intent. We don't require this live activity, so you can uncheck this. Make sure these two things are checked, and then you can just click on finish. And now here you will have to click on activate. Once you do that, also one more thing, I think this control center thing is only available from iOS 18, so I'm not sure if it will support lower, like less than 18 version of iOS. Okay, also here you will again have to change it back to your main application. In the meantime, what you have to do, one more thing is, here inside again go to your project, make sure you have selected your widget over here, and here again you will have to click on this plus capability button. You will have to add your app group. Now here again click on this plus button, and you will have to paste your bundle identifier. So this, okay, I think I have copied group twice. I'll just remove this. So same the suit name of our user defaults, and just click on OK. And once that is done, here our app group will get reflected. Okay, so this is giving me an error saying user defaults key is not present. So we will just define the user defaults key Yeah, you can name it whatever you feel like. It is basically a key for storing key value data, right? So our key can be any number, anything. So I will just name it as stored number. You can name it as coffee intake or tea intake, whatever you feel like. Okay, now don't run the application. I am just running it just so that I don't waste your time later on. There is still a bunch of code which we have to write. Now if you come to your project, here you should see your Flutter widget folder been created, whatever name you have given. So firstly you will have to go to your control widget over here. You will just have to comment this out. Now inside our widget, what we will do is we will be creating a button. So there are only two Swift UI widgets which you can use. One is the toggle widget and second one is the button widget, and inside a button you can only display a text and image. So don't try to use any Swift UI widgets or components, whatever come to your mind. You can't really do that, at least at the time of me recording this video. In future they might support it. Okay, now what I will do, again I will just go back to my practice projects just to copy some code, so don't get confused, uh, because it's very difficult for me to remember all the code by myself. So here I will just copy this. Okay, then I'll explain it to you. So here I'll copy this particular part, and there is one more thing which I need to copy, this one. Okay, I'll paste it over here. So firstly we'll have to again get hold of our user defaults. Now again this should be our own bundle identifier. So you can just go to app delegate, copy this bundle identifier which we have, and paste it over here. Now once we have the user default suite name, here we are defining our user defaults key as well. Now again the user default key should be the same what you have defined over here. So it is stored number for me, so that's why I have defined stored number over here as well. Once that is done, inside the particular UI side, alright, now the next thing is, here I have created this control widget button inside our UI. So like I said, you can only use this control widget toggle or control widget button. If you try to use any other kind of Swift UI views, it will ignore it. And here I have created this, like this is an action. So what happens on the button click? So here we are calling this increment intent, which I will show you shortly. Then here we just get hold of our user default value. If there is no value, I'm just passing 0, and here I'm just displaying number of t, passing our value, and this is the image for it. Okay, now again I'll just improve the indentation a little bit. Rest you don't have to worry about it. I think we don't even need this, so you can just comment this out. Rest everything, sorry, rest everything can be by default, and here you can change the value to whatever you feel like, t intake, and uh, app to track t intake, whatever you feel like is the right description for you. Okay, next we'll have to create this particular file, increment intent. So just go to your widget, right click, again don't create it via VS Code, I'm telling you. So here just create new empty file and name it as increment intent. Now again I'll just copy all this code which I have. Again you can ignore this, and here I will just paste it over here. So here we so this will call on the button click. So here we have to extend from app intent, give the title to whatever you feel like. Again the user defaults key should be the same what we have used inside our widget as well as inside our app delegate, and then this particular perform method gets called on the button click. Now again this should be the same bundle identifier, so I'll just remove this and I will go to my app delegate, and this is the bundle identifier, right? So I will just copy this, and I will come over here and paste over here. Then we just get current value from our user defaults. We update the value by 1, and again we save it to user defaults, and at the end we just have to write this return dot result. Okay, now I will just try to run the application from Xcode. If you want, you can run it from the terminal as well, flutter run command. The reason I'm running it because I just want to see what error it is throwing to me. Okay, cycle. Okay, I know what this error is. I have faced this previously as well. I think for this we'll have to go to build phases, and go to runner, and we have to move this particular thing something up. Let me quickly check this and come back to you. All right, so the next, so the thing which we have to do to resolve this cyclic error issue, what we have to do is just take this embed framework, move it up above our run script, take this embed foundation extension as well and move it about run script. Then try to run our application. Again, if you want, you can run this application from the terminal as well using the Flutter and command. So now this will take a little bit of time. So let me just wait for the application to load and then I'll come back. Okay guys, so here is the output. Now I have named the button name very badly. It should not be save and encrypted. It should be something like increment counter. Sorry about that. So you can just name it as increment counter and rerun the application if you want to, but I won't run it. So I will just click on this. Just suppose that this is an increment counter button, and here you can see the value changed to 2, 3, 4. Now it is 5. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just completely close the app. Okay, it is in the background state. Next I will just open our control center widget. I'll click on this plus button. Then here you will have to click on add a control. Then here you will have to search for your app name. So here my app name is Flut App Center, right? So this is my app. So I'll just select this particular thing. Now you can just drag this as well. So here you can see I'm able to see the number of TS5 and click anywhere wherever you want. Now if I click on this control center, here you can see the value is getting incrementing 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. So the value is now 9. Now our app has not been completely dismissed, it is in the background. If I just show it to you, okay, this is now simulator is acting weird. Okay, but anyways, if I just open the app, here you can see the value is still 5. Now the value is 5 because we are updating the value inside init state or when the button is clicked. So if I just click on this button, here you can see the value automatically jumped to 10 because the value was 9 inside our control center widget. If you want, you can add that life cycle of view did appear, something like that, and call this get value so that the value is automatically updated. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.